Is the Bitcoin bleeding getting near an end? Is this setting up to be just a brutal trap? What if I told you some hidden data most traders ignore is actually flashing a warning? Quitting now could actually be a huge mistake, so stick around. And to be clear, Bitcoin right now, at the time of recording this video, is trading well below the 50-week EMA, which is bad news bears. Basically, trading under that has always in the past confirmed a bear market is here. However, the New York Empire State Manufacturing Index is giving me a bit of hope here. It jumped to 18.7 in November, the highest in a year, up from 10.7 in October, and way above the forecast of 6. So what the heck is going on here? Well, this is actually a monthly survey conducted by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York and measures the health of the manufacturing sector in the state of New York. An index value above 0 indicates growth, while a value below 0 indicates contraction. The survey also gathers data on other indicators such as new orders, shipments, and employment, the real guts of manufacturing activity. And yeah, looking at one state might sound a bit narrow until you remember that, New York's kind of a big deal. Okay, its GDP is $2.3 trillion. Which is bigger than the GDP of Canada or Australia. And the third largest contributor to the US GDP, of course, is New York. So when New York manufacturing moves, it matters. Now, it's not just New York showing promise. Other regional data actually backs this up as well. A good example is the Kansas City Fed Manufacturing Production Index. Why do they have to make these names so long? Anyway, this index is basically a monthly pulse check on factories across the central United States, places like Kansas, Colorado, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Wyoming. Those kind of places. It surveys about 150 manufacturing plants and works as a simple diffusion index, just like the New York index. And above 0 means expansion, below 0 means contraction. It tracks production, new orders, employment, and price pressures. Here's the sauce. The Kansas City Production Index jumped to 18 in November, up from 15. Not only has it been expanding for the last 4 months, but it is also the highest reading since April of 2022. That's a real pickup in activity. Next up is the Philadelphia Fed Diffusion Index, another key regional read. Pennsylvania, woo! But this one focuses on future expectations, not just current conditions. It tracks manufacturers across the 3rd Federal Reserve District, an area with a combined GDP of over $1 trillion. It mainly covers eastern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, and Delaware. Like the others, readings above 0 signal growth, readings below 0 signal contraction. Now, what makes this survey stand out is the future activity section. It tracks what manufacturers expect 6 months out, from orders to shipments to prices. Think of it as a forward-looking confidence gauge for the region. For the numbers, the Future General Activity Index jumped from 36.2 to 49.6 in November of 25. The highest reading in a year. Future New Orders Index rose to 55.6, the strongest since January. The Future Shipments Index held at 48.4. Both Future Prices Index remained elevated and moved higher. The manufacturers aren't just reporting stability right now. They're expecting strong demand, higher output, and more hiring over the next 6 months. Very critical. What's the big fear right now? Oh, the labor market weakness. There we go. When forward-looking sentiment spikes like this, it usually means businesses are preparing for more activity, investment, and employment. Okay, they see the rates are falling, they're getting optimistic, they can start doing things again. This one signal that the industrial side of the economy might be turning the corner heading into 2026 is very encouraging. Now let's check in with the Chicago Business Barometer, also known as the Chicago PMI, one of the most closely watched regional indicators because it tends to move ahead of the national ISM. It tracks manufacturing and business conditions across the Chicago Federal Reserve District that covers parts of Illinois. I know it's Illinois, come on, it's funny though. Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Iowa. Unlike some of the regional Fed surveys that use 0 as midpoint, the Chicago PMI follows a classic 50-line structure. Why don't they just make it all the same anyway? Above 50 signals expansion, below 50 signals contraction. It's also known for being a little bit volatile, okay? But when this thing turns, it often gives an early warning signal for the broader US economy. Okay, so it rose to 43.8 in October, up from 40.6, and slightly above the estimates of 42.3. Well, still well below the 50 mark, especially compared to the national average. Contracting, right? But this does mark the softest contraction in 3 months, and it's starting to head back in the right direction. The improvement was largely driven by a rebound in new orders after 3 consecutive months of declines, alongside improvements in output and order backlogs. Employment, however, reached the lowest level since February showing that firms are still cautious in this particular region. Okay, so slightly mixed data coming here, but the most important thing is that's moving back towards the 50 line. Now, before we get into the next part of this, very critical data here for you. Guys, if you're trading crypto, here's a deal. Serious traders know how important execution and liquidity are. That's exactly why I've been using FEMX for years. It's secure, it's fast, it gives you access to all the hot coins in the market. Here's the kicker. They are running an absolutely insane promotion right now. It actually finishes in just a couple of days, so you better hop on board if you want to take part in this deal. So put in 5K, $500 cash back. 10K, $1,000 cash. $1,000 cash back. That's crazy, man. You put in 20K, $1,600 cash back. Plus, there's all kinds of crazy trading bonuses, up to $20,000 in trading bonuses. Check it out. There's a link right down here, guys. These kind of deals don't come along often. They don't last long, okay? FEMX is available to anyone, anywhere. You might need a VPN in some cases, but hit that link below, get trading today, and start taking your trading seriously. Now let's zoom out to the national level. The ISM manufacturing PMI came in at 48.7 in October 2025, slipping from 49.1 in September and missing expectations of 49.5 with 50 as the expansion line. This marks the 8th straight month of contraction. Manufacturing is still under pressure, but it's not in free fall. The index has been stuck in a narrow band for months, signaling stagnation rather than a breakdown. And according to trading economics models, business confidence is expected to sit around 51 by the end of this quarter, with the ISM PMI itself projected to gradually move up towards 50, perhaps in early 2026, maybe even up to 52 in 2027 based on current expectations. Meanwhile, the S&P Global Flash U.S. Manufacturing PMI fell to 51.9 in November 2025, down 52.5, below forecast to 52. Despite the decline, still indicates expansion, the 10th time in 11 months. Production growth dipped slightly but did remain solid. Employment rose at the fastest pace since August. New order growth weakened, but longer lead times acted as a positive signal here. And inventories of inputs were largely unchanged. Now let's zoom out beyond manufacturing. Factories make up only about 10% of US GDP at this point. America's not a manufacturing economy that it once was, it's a services economy. In fact, they drive around roughly 70% of GDP, everything from healthcare and finance to retail to tech, transportation, and much, much more. That's where things look super strong. The ISM Services PMI jumped to 52.4 in October 2025 from 50 in September, beating forecasts of 50.8, marking the strongest expansion since February. That's very important. According to trading economics models, the ISM Services PMI is expected to hold near 50 by the end of this quarter before gradually firming toward 52 in 2026 and 53 in 2027, according to expectations, which looks pretty promising. The S&P Global U.S. Services PMI rose to 55 in November 2025 from 54.8 in October, marking the sharpest expansion in U.S. services activity since July. According to trading economics models, the PMI is expected to moderate to around 52 by the end of this quarter, with long-term projections still trending near 50 in 2026 and 52 in 2027. Those long-term expectations are pretty far down the road, so it's hard to say exactly how things will play out. But the signal here is pretty clear. Steady, durable growth in the sector that drives most of the U.S. economy. Bottom line, manufacturing may get the headlines, but services are carrying the GDP. And both sectors are showing some pretty solid, sustainable growth heading into 2026, which means more money in the system, more people have jobs, more companies expanding. Of course, the Fed interest rate cuts help all this stuff massively. And that's the kind of macro backdrop that could set the next stage for the next big move in Bitcoin. I know what you're thinking. Holy crap, he's going to finally talk about Bitcoin again. Yes, we're talking about Bitcoin again. Let me be very clear here, though. We are not out of the woods yet. Okay, and bears live in the woods. They're dangerous, dirty beasts. You have to be careful. Bitcoin structure is currently still bearish, trapped below the weekly 50 EMA. Not good. The AI tech bubble is getting a little frothy. We winced out a bit of that excess recently in the move down, but still a lot of froth out there. That being said, the macro picture is starting to show signs of life. Manufacturing and services indices are pointing to early strength, suggesting the real economy could be gearing up for a rebound. Combine that with the Fed's upcoming end to QT in December, the possibility of quantitative easing to follow. People are already talking about it. It's just like a switch. NQT, QE on. We'll see when it actually happens. Talking about is one thing. Words are cheap, right? Suddenly, the market conditions for a big market move are stacking up for well into 2026 and potentially even into 2027. The bottom line, we're still in shaky ground, but the pieces are aligning to set the stage for a more stable upswing. It's still early, but the indicators are lining up for a possible turning point that's worth watching very closely in this key macroeconomic data might just be showing us the way. Thanks for watching.